Good morning, friends. Do you know what is the most powerful moment of your entire day? It is the very first morning you wake up with awareness. That one morning, if lived with purpose, can change the direction of your entire destiny. Destiny is not something written in the stars. It's something written in your actions. And your actions begin the moment you open your eyes. Some people wake up and the first thing they grab is their phone. They scroll endlessly, filling their mind with noise. Others wake up, breathe deeply, and fill their heart with gratitude. The difference between these two mornings is the difference between distraction and direction. Imagine this: a farmer plants a seed at sunrise. That one act, that one morning decision, creates fruits for generations. Similarly, every small choice we make in the morning has the power to ripple through our day, our year, and our destiny. If you wake up with anger, the day becomes heavy. If you wake up with gratitude, the day becomes light. If you wake up with excuses, you carry burden. But if you wake up with discipline, you carry strength. One morning of sincerity, one morning of discipline, one morning of courage can create a chain reaction that changes your life forever. Don't underestimate the power of one sunrise. It's not just the start of another day, it is the fresh page of your destiny. So tomorrow when you wake up, ask yourself, what will I choose? Complaining or gratitude? Laziness or discipline, fear or courage? Because one morning can truly change your destiny. When you open your eyes in the morning, you are given the most priceless gift, life. Yet, many times we forget this miracle and immediately rush into complaints. Why is my alarm so loud? Why do I have to go to work? Why are things so difficult? But imagine this. If the very first thought you plant in your mind is a complaint, you are planting a seed of negativity, and the fruit of that seed will follow you throughout the day. Gratitude, on the other hand, is like sunlight. It warms, it brightens, and it energizes everything it touches. Starting your day with gratitude is not just about saying, "Thank you." It's about deeply realizing that you already have more than enough to begin your day with joy. Think about it. Did you wake up today in a bed? That's something many people in the world don't have. Did you open your eyes and see the faces of people you love? Or at least have the chance to speak to them? That's something many long for. Did you have food waiting in your kitchen, or even the ability to go buy it? That's a blessing. When you start the day counting blessings, instead of problems, your mind shifts from scarcity to abundance. And when your mind is in abundance, you stop looking at life with fear and start facing it with strength. Let me share a simple practice. The moment you wake up, before touching your phone, place your hand on your heart and whisper 3 things you are grateful for. It could be something as simple as, "I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the chance to live another day." If you do this sincerely, you will feel a gentle strength rise within you. This is not imagination, it's the science of the mind. When you focus on gratitude, your brain releases chemicals that reduce stress and increase happiness. But here's the deeper truth. Gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you act. A grateful person doesn't take opportunities for granted. A grateful person doesn't waste time. A grateful person doesn't dwell on problems too long. Gratitude gives you the strength to rise above challenges because you already see how much you've been given. Imagine two people starting their mornings. The first one says, "I'm tired, I hate this job, nothing ever works out for me." The second one says, "I'm grateful I have work, I'm grateful I can earn, I'm grateful I can learn something new today." Tell me, who will have more energy? Who will inspire others? Who will progress faster? Both have the same circumstances, but one has chosen gratitude and gratitude has given them strength. Gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties. It is about focusing on the power you already have to overcome them. It transforms weakness into resilience and complaints into courage. So tomorrow morning, when the sun rises, don't let your first words be complaints. Let them be words of gratitude. Because gratitude in the morning does not just create positivity for the day, it creates strength for your destiny. People often talk about destiny as if it is some mystical script already written, something unchangeable, something fixed in the stars. They say, if it is meant to happen, it will happen. But let me ask you, if destiny were simply about waiting, why would we need effort? If everything was already decided, why would farmers plant seeds? Why would students study? Why would leaders lead? The truth is, destiny is not written by chance, it is written by choice. It is not shaped by luck, it is shaped by the small, daily actions you and I take. Think about a sculptor. He takes a rough block of stone. At first, it looks ordinary, heavy, even unattractive. But every single day, he chisels away at it. A strike here, a polish there. Over time, that same block of stone becomes a masterpiece that people admire for centuries. Was that masterpiece hidden in destiny? Or was it revealed by consistent action? The same applies to your life. Every action is a chisel, and every day you carve your own future. Many times, people blame their situations. I wasn't born rich. I don't have enough resources. I don't know the right people. But history shows us countless stories of individuals who began with nothing and still shaped extraordinary destinies. They did not wait for luck, they worked with discipline. They did not wait for opportunity, they created it with persistence. Imagine a student preparing for an exam. One student says, "If I'm lucky, I will pass." Another student says, "I will study every morning, I will revise, I will stay consistent." Tell me, who is more likely to succeed? It is obvious. The one who takes action. Luck may help once, maybe twice, but consistent effort rewrites destiny. Here's a simple but powerful truth. Every small action compounds. If you spend your mornings scrolling aimlessly, those minutes don't vanish. They shape your habits. They shape your discipline they shape your future. On the other hand, if you spend those same mornings learning, exercising, meditating, or planning, those actions also compound, and one day they become the destiny you live. Destiny is not a lottery ticket you're waiting to win. It is a garden you must water daily. If you water it with effort, discipline, and focus, it will bloom. If you neglect it, weeds will grow. Many times people say, "But what about situations outside my control?" True, you cannot control everything that happens, but you can always control your response. That response, whether it is anger or patience, whether it is fear or courage, whether it is laziness or effort, decides the direction of your life. Think of a ship sailing in the ocean. Winds will blow, storms will come, waves will rise. But the destiny of that ship depends not on the storm, but on how the captain steers. In the same way, destiny is less about what happens to you and more about how you act in response. So remember this: your destiny is not sitting out there waiting for you like a gift. It is being built right here, right now, by the choices you make today, this morning, in this very moment. Luck may knock once in a while, but daily actions are the real architects of destiny. The very first moments after waking up are the steering wheel of your entire day. Just like the first step of a journey decides which path you take, the first thoughts you allow into your mind and the first habits you choose after waking shape everything that follows. It may seem small, almost insignificant, but in reality, these first few minutes are the seeds of your direction. Picture two people waking up at the same time. One opens his eyes, sighs, and says, "Another tiring day." He grabs his phone, scrolls through negative news, compares his life to others, and already feels behind. The other wakes up, sits quietly for a few moments, breathes deeply, and says, "Thank you for another chance." He stretches, drinks water, and sets his mind with clarity. Now tell me, who will have more focus, more strength, more positivity throughout the day? Their situations may be the same, but the first choices after waking have already created two very different directions. The mind is like soft clay in the morning. Whatever impression you press into it at the start becomes the form it holds for the rest of the day. If you press complaints, irritation, and distraction into it, that is the shape your mind carries. But if you press gratitude, focus, and calmness, that is the shape that stays with you. Morning is not just the beginning of the day, it is the blueprint of your mental state. There's a reason why so many successful people guard their mornings. I flew for 20 Lad. They understand that those early minutes are not for the world, but for the self. If you let the world enter your mind first, through phones, messages, or social media, you hand over the steering wheel to others. But if you spend those first minutes with yourself, through reflection, gratitude, reading, or exercise, you take control of your direction. Think of it like programming a computer. The code you input in the first few lines decides how the entire program will run. If you start with errors, the program keeps crashing. But if you start with clarity, the program runs smoothly. In the same way, your first thoughts are the code that yawns your mind. Some might say, but what difference can a few minutes make? Imagine a plane taking off. If the pilot changes direction by just 1 degree at the start, it may seem like nothing. But as the journey continues, that 1 degree becomes hundreds of miles away from the original destination. Similarly, the first thoughts and habits in the morning may seem small, but as the hours pass, they determine whether your day ends in frustration or fulfillment. So what kind of habits can shape a powerful direction? Something as simple as sitting in silence, expressing gratitude, reading an inspiring page, writing your goals, or moving your body with energy. These are not big tasks, but they are big foundations. On the other hand, starting with arguments, complaints, or endless scrolling creates a shaky foundation, and everything built on it feels unstable. Your first thought is like the first brushstroke on a blank canvas. Once it is placed, it influences every stroke after it. If the first stroke is bright and bold, the painting becomes alive. If the first stroke is dull and messy, the painting struggles to come together. Each morning, your mind gives you a blank canvas. What brushstroke will you choose? The answer is in your hands every sunrise. The direction of your entire day begins with the very first thought, the very first action, and the very first habit you choose. When the sun rises, the first gift it offers us is awareness, the chance to wake up and live one more day. But often, instead of treating this gift with gratitude, people begin the day with complaints. They complain about the alarm, about the workload, about responsibilities. And what they don't realize is that the very first words and feelings they choose in the morning set the vibration of their entire day. Gratitude is the shift that transforms this vibration. When you begin your day with gratitude, you are not just saying, "Thank you." You are choosing to recognize abundance over scarcity. You are reminding yourself that life has already given you far more than you may notice in your busy routines. Did you wake up with breath flowing freely through your lungs? That itself is a miracle. Did you have a bed to rest in, a roof to shelter you, even the possibility of food to eat? These are gifts that millions of people pray for daily. Gratitude doesn't mean life is perfect. It means that despite imperfections, you are choosing to see blessings. And that perspective creates immense positivity. When your mind starts with blessings, it begins the day lighter, calmer, and more focused. On the other hand, when your mind starts with complaints, even the smallest challenges feel heavy. And the day drags on with negativity. There is also a hidden strength in gratitude. A person who feels grateful is less likely to feel hopeless, because gratitude reminds you of what is already working. It strengthens your ability to handle what isn't. Think of a tree with deep roots. No matter how strong the stone, the roots give it stability. Gratitude is like those roots. It grounds you, it strengthens you, it prevents you from being easily shaken. Consider two people facing the same challenge. One begins the day by complaining, "Why do I always have problems? Life is unfair." The other begins the day with gratitude. "I am thankful I have the strength to face this. I am thankful for the lessons hidden in this struggle." Now, who do you think will approach the challenge with more energy, more creativity, more courage? It is the one who began with gratitude. Practicing gratitude in the morning is simple, yet powerful. Instead of rushing straight into messages, emails, or worries, pause for just a few minutes. Place your hand on your chest and whisper 3 things you are thankful for. They don't have to be big. Your health, your family, a new opportunity, even just the chance to see the morning light. This short practice programs your mind to search for positivity instead of problems. And when your mind is trained to look for good, it naturally creates more good in your actions. Science itself supports this. Studies show that when people practice gratitude, their brain chemistry changes, stress reduces, focus sharpens, and optimism increases. In other words, gratitude doesn't just make you feel good, it makes you strong. Think of your morning like a seed. If you plant a seed of complaint, the fruit will be bitterness throughout the day. If you plant a seed of gratitude, the fruit will be sweetness, resilience, and joy. The choice of seed is yours. Gratitude is not just a polite word. It is a powerful foundation that gives your day positivity and your destiny strength. The first few moments of the morning are the most precious, yet they are also the most easily stolen. Stolen not by thieves in the street, but by distractions that slip silently into our minds. The moment you wake up, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to clarity, focus, and direction. The other leads to noise, restlessness, and scattered energy. And sadly, most people take the second path without even realizing it. Think about what many people do as soon as their eyes open. Their hand reaches for the phone before they've even taken a deep breath. Suddenly, they are flooded with notifications, messages, news, endless scrolling. Their mind, which was calm and fresh just moments ago, is now hijacked by the world's noise. It's like allowing hundreds of strangers to walk into your house uninvited at dawn and start shouting, "How can there be peace? How can there be focus?" The danger of distraction in the morning is not just the minutes you lose. It's the direction you lose. Because when your mind begins in distraction, it develops a habit of chasing one thing after another without depth, without clarity. Instead of choosing your priorities, you are dragged by whatever the world throws at you. And when you give away the morning, you give away the steering wheel of your day. Distraction weakens focus because it scatters your energy. Imagine light passing through a glass. When spread out, it is ordinary, but when concentrated, it becomes a laser powerful enough to cut through steam. Your mind is the same. If you allow distractions to scatter your thoughts early in the morning, you lose the strength of concentration. But if you guard your focus, you direct that power toward goals that matter. Let me share an image with you. Picture an archer preparing to shoot. His focus must be steady, his hand must be calm, his eyes must be clear. But what if people around him keep shouting, waving, and pulling at his arm? His arrow will never find the target. In the same way, your morning focus is your arrow. Distractions are the noise pulling at your hand. If you don't silence them, your day never hits the mark. Some distractions are external: phones, social media, endless messages. But many are internal: worrying about the past, overthinking the future, rehearsing problems before they even arrive. The morning magnifies whatever thought you give it. If you feed it with noise, it multiplies noise. If you feed it with clarity, it multiplies clarity. So how do we protect ourselves? By consciously designing the first hour of the day. Instead of checking the phone, check in with yourself. Breathe deeply, stretch your body, drink water, read something uplifting, or write your goals. These simple habits may look small, but they create an inner shield against distraction. You are telling your mind, I am in charge, not the world. And here's something powerful. When you win the morning, you create momentum. Just like a ball rolling downhill gathers speed, your day gathers energy when it begins without distraction. But when you start with noise, the momentum you create is confusion, and it follows you into every meeting, every conversation, every task. Remember, focus is not built in the middle of chaos. It is built in the quiet moments at the start of the day. Protect those moments. Guard them like a treasure. Because once they are stolen by distraction, the day is already weakened. But if you use them with intention, the day is already won. Life is not transformed by one giant leap. It is shaped by thousands of small steps taken every single day. And nowhere is this truth more evident than in the morning. The decisions you make in those first hours may seem small, almost invisible. But like drops of water falling on stone, they carve the shape of your destiny over time. Think about it. The choice between hitting the snooze button or rising with determination may feel like a minor decision. But each time you choose discipline over delay, you build strength in your character. Each time you choose action over excuses, you add another brick to the foundation of your future. These choices may seem ordinary in the moment, but when repeated day after day, they become extraordinary in their effect. It's like throwing a small stone into a still pond. At first, it looks like a tiny splash, but then the ripples begin to spread wider and wider, touching every part of the water. Your morning decisions are like that stone. What you eat, what you think, how you spend the first hour, all of these choices ripple out and shape the quality of your work, your relationships, your health, and even your happiness. Consider this example. One person decides every morning to spend just 15 minutes reading something uplifting, while another decides to scroll through endless distractions. After one day, the difference seems small. After a week, it becomes noticeable. After a year, the reader has gained knowledge, wisdom, and focus. Well, the scroller has lost time, energy, and clarity. Multiply that over a lifetime, and you see two entirely different destinies created by the same 24 hours lived differently. The morning is the seed bead of habit. Whatever you plant early in the day grows stronger as the hours pass. If you plant procrastination in the morning, it becomes harder to escape laziness later. But if you plant productivity, it fuels momentum that carries you forward. The beauty is that the seed is small, but the harvest is huge. Sometimes people wait for big opportunities to transform their lives. A promotion, a sudden chance, a stroke of luck. But real transformation is not built on occasional opportunities. It is built on consistent choices. The opportunity you control every single day is how you begin your morning. That is your daily chance to steer your life in the direction you want it to go. Think of the Great Pyramids. They were not built in a day. They were built by placing one stone on top of another patiently, consistently. Your destiny is no different. Each morning decision is like placing one stone. On its own, it may look small, but when placed with discipline every day, it builds something magnificent. What makes these small choices powerful is not their size, but their consistency. Drinking a glass of water in the morning seems ordinary, but do it daily and your health transforms. Writing down your goals in the morning may take 2 minutes, but do it daily and your focus sharpens like a blade. Speaking kind words to your loved ones in the morning may feel simple, but do it daily and your relationships deepen beyond measure. So never underestimate the small decisions of your morning. They are not just habits, they are ripples. And those ripples, when allowed to spread through days, months, and years, eventually become the waves that shape the entire ocean of your life. Discipline is not about punishment, nor is it about being harsh with yourself. Discipline is the quiet strength of keeping promises you make to yourself, especially in the morning. The way you start your day reflects the way you will live your life. And if your morning begins with discipline, you are not only setting order for the day, you are building consistency and resilience for your destiny. Think about the morning alarm. For many, it is the first battle of the day. The alarm rings, and the mind whispers, just 5 more minutes. Giving in feels small, harmless. But each time you delay, you are training your mind to choose comfort over commitment. On the other hand, every time you rise on time, you are teaching your mind a powerful lesson. My word matters. My actions follow my intentions. This one decision, repeated daily, becomes the seed of resilience. Consistency is built on small acts of discipline. Imagine brushing your teeth. You don't brush once and expect your teeth to stay clean forever. You brush daily because consistency matters more than intensity. The same applies to your habits of growth. Whether it is exercise, meditation, reading, or planning. Doing it once brings a small benefit. Doing it daily builds a strong foundation. Now, let's look deeper into resilience. Life will not always move according to your plan. There will be setbacks, delays, failures, and unexpected storms. Resilience is your ability to rise again, to keep moving despite the difficulty. And resilience is not built in crisis. It is built in discipline. Each time you practice discipline in the morning, you are strengthening the muscle of resilience. You are training yourself to do what is necessary, even when it is not easy. Picture a soldier preparing for battle. He doesn't wait for the war to practice discipline. He trains daily, so when the real challenge comes, his body and mind are ready. Similarly, your mornings are your training ground. Each disciplined act, waking on time, exercising when you don't feel like it, focusing when the mind wants to wander, is preparing you for the bigger challenges of life. There is also a rhythm in discipline. Just as a musician must practice scales daily to master the art, you must practice self-discipline daily to master your life. Skipping practice one day may not seem to matter, but over time, inconsistency weakens the flow. Discipline in the morning ensures that your rhythm of life remains steady, no matter what distractions come your way. Let me share an image. Imagine building a brick wall. If you lay one brick every day with care, in time you create a strong structure. But if you lay bricks irregularly, one day building, 3 days skipping, the wall will remain weak and incomplete. Your habits of discipline are those bricks, and your life is the wall. The more consistently you lay them, the stronger your life becomes. What makes morning discipline unique is that it comes when your mind is fresh and your willpower is highest. If you can discipline yourself at the start of the day, you carry that strength into every task that follows. It is like tuning an instrument before playing. It ensures harmony throughout the performance. So discipline in the morning is more than just routine. It is the secret engine that builds consistency in your actions and resilience in your character. Over time, it shapes not just how you live your day, but how you live your life. The beginning of the day is like the foundation of a building. If the foundation is weak, the entire structure struggles to stand. In the same way, when your morning begins with anger, laziness, or excuses, you are laying a foundation of burden that will weigh you down for the rest of the day. It may seem like just a few minutes of negativity, but those minutes spread their weight into hours, and those hours shape your direction. Take anger, for example. Imagine waking up and immediately arguing with someone or carrying irritation from yesterday into today. Your body tenses, your mind narrows, and suddenly even the smallest tasks feel heavy. An entire day can be poisoned by that one early spark of anger. Like a drop of ink in clear water, it spreads until everything seems clouded. You may think, it was just a moment, but that moment lingers far longer than you realize. Then there is laziness. The temptation to stay in bed, to delay, to push things aside for later. It feels comfortable at first, even harmless. But laziness in the morning is like adding weights to your shoulders before a race. You carry that heaviness throughout the day. Decisions become slower motivation weaker. Opportunities slip by unnoticed. Laziness is not rest, it is resistance disguised as comfort. And the longer you entertain it in the morning, the harder it becomes to shake off. Excuses are another burden. When the mind starts the day by saying, I can't do this, I don't have enough time, I'm not ready, you create barriers before even taking a single step. Excuses are like chains. They don't just stop movement, they make you believe movement is impossible. And once you accept excuses in the morning, they multiply. The rest of the day becomes a collection of reasons why you didn't, instead of actions that prove you could. Let me paint a picture. Imagine carrying a backpack. In the morning, you put in 1 stone of anger, 1 stone of laziness, 1 stone of excuses. It doesn't feel too heavy at first, but as the day goes on, every task you try to complete feels harder because of the weight you carry. By evening, you are exhausted not because of the tasks themselves, but because of the unnecessary burden you added at the start. Now, imagine the opposite, beginning the morning without those stones. Suddenly, the backpack is light, and the same journey feels easier, freer, more joyful. Life will always have challenges, but why make them heavier by starting with negativity? Anger blinds you, laziness slows you, and excuses trap you. Together, they turn even small problems into mountains. On the other hand, when you begin with clarity, energy, and determination, even mountains feel like stepping stones. The morning is too valuable to waste on carrying burdens that you can choose to put down. You don't have to begin with anger. You can choose patience. You don't have to begin with laziness. You can choose movement. You don't have to begin with excuses. You can choose responsibility. Every sunrise gives you a chance to decide whether to pick up stones or to walk free. The truth is simple. Negative starts don't just affect one day, they accumulate. Each day begun with anger makes you more impatient. Each day begun with laziness makes you more undisciplined. Each day begun with excuses makes you more powerless. But once you realize this, you also realize the power is in your hands. The choice of how you start is always yours. Every morning is like standing at the doorway of a brand new chapter. The way you step through that doorway determines how the story of the day unfolds. Begin with negativity, and the path feels heavy, but begin with positivity, with gratitude, courage, and purpose. And suddenly the same path feels lighter, brighter, and filled with possibility. Gratitude is the first key. When you wake up and your first thought is, thank you, you instantly lift the weight of complaint. Gratitude reminds you that life is not empty, but full. It shifts your attention from what is missing to what is already present. Think about it. If you wake up and focus on everything that's wrong, you carry that heaviness all day. But if you wake up and focus on what is right, your health, your family, your opportunities, you carry lightness. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it changes the way you face them. Instead of saying, why me? You begin to say, I am strong enough to handle this. That small shift makes the entire day more manageable. Courage is the second key. Mornings often remind us of what we fear, responsibilities waiting, challenges approaching, dreams still far away. Fear can paralyze, but courage liberates. Beginning the day with courage doesn't mean you're fearless. It means you're willing to take a step despite fear. Courage is waking up and saying, I may not know the whole path, but I will take the next step. Just one courageous thought in the morning can ripple throughout the day, making you face tasks with confidence instead of hesitation. It's like putting on armor before stepping into battle. Suddenly, the challenges don't feel as frightening because you've armed yourself with bravery. Then comes purpose, the third key. Purpose is the compass that directs your energy. Without it, even small tasks feel meaningless and the day feels heavy with boredom. But with purpose, even ordinary tasks feel meaningful. When you wake up and remind yourself, I am not just working, I am building. I am not just surviving, I am progressing. I am not just living, I am contributing. Your actions take on new life. In thee, purpose makes you lighter because it transforms struggle into service and effort into progress. Think about someone climbing a mountain. If they climb without reason, every step feels exhausting. Every stone feels heavy. But if they climb knowing there's a treasure at the top, every step feels lighter because the vision gives them strength. Purpose is that vision when you start your morning by connecting with it, the rest of the day becomes easier to carry. These three, gratitude, courage, and purpose, are like wings. On their own, they make the morning brighter. Together, they lift your entire day. Gratitude gives you peace with the past and present. Courage gives you strength to face the unknown. Purpose gives you direction for the future. And when peace, strength, and direction combine, no weight feels too heavy. Positive starts do not guarantee that the day will be free of problems, but they guarantee that you will carry those problems differently. Instead of dragging your feet, you walk with lightness. Instead of feeling crushed, you feel capable. Instead of dreading the day, you embrace it. So each morning, before the world enters your mind, give yourself these gifts. Whisper gratitude, breathe courage, and remember your purpose. With that, you will not only lighten the day, you will brighten it. Every time the sun rises, it carries a silent message. Life has given you another chance. Yesterday may have been filled with mistakes, regrets, or missed opportunities, but when the light of a new day touches your face, it whispers, begin again. That is the beauty of mornings. They are not just the start of another day, they are invitations to rewrite your destiny. So many people feel trapped by their past. They think, I've failed too many times. I've wasted too much time. My habits are too weak. My future is already decided. But nothing could be further from the truth. The past is a chapter that has already been written. Yes, but the pen is still in your hand, and the next chapter is blank. Every sunrise places that pen back into your grasp. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can always rewrite tomorrow, and it begins with today. Think of nature itself. The sun does not stop rising because yesterday was cloudy. It rises again and again, offering light no matter how dark the night has been. The same is true for your life. No matter how many dark nights you've endured, no matter how many storms have passed through, the sun will rise again, and with it comes the chance to rise yourself. Imagine a student who failed an exam. If he wakes up the next morning and tells himself, "I am a failure, I will never improve," then he chains himself to yesterday's result. But if he wakes up and says, "Yesterday I stumbled, but today I can learn, I can study, I can improve," then he has already rewritten his destiny. One exam doesn't define a lifetime, just as one failure doesn't define a future. It is the response each morning that decides the direction. Every sunrise is an equal opportunity. It doesn't matter if you are rich or poor, young or old, yesterday's winner or yesterday's struggler. The morning belongs to all of us equally. The question is, how will you use it? Some will waste it on regrets, some on distractions, but others will seize it to build new habits, new dreams, new strength. And those who use the gift of morning wisely are the ones who transform their lives. It's important to remember that destiny is not a single grand decision, but a collection of daily choices. And each morning is the reset button that allows you to make those choices afresh. Even if yesterday you gave in to anger, today you can choose patience. Even if yesterday you wasted time, today you can choose discipline. Even if yesterday you lived without direction, today you can choose purpose. Every sunrise clears the page, allowing you to write again. There is a saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. In the same way, the best time to live with purpose may have been long ago, but the second best time is this morning. The sunrise doesn't ask about your past. It only offers you the present. So when the first light enters your window, don't treat it as ordinary. Treat it as a miracle, a gift, a chance. Because that sunrise is more than just the start of a day. It is the doorway to a new destiny waiting for you to step through.